Welcome, podcast fans. It's time for the What's Up Bro podcast show presented by J&J Production Studios, the home for all your entertainment needs. All kinds of great topics discussed every week, a variety of different themes offered, special guest appearances, prize giveaways, and so much more. Stay tuned. And now, here are your hosts, Sam Crow and Big Hoss.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Saturday night. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, and of course that means we're back here with you all tonight. We got some fun surprises, some good stories we're going to share tonight, as well as we got one of our old friends back here. It's Miss Boo Boo is here with us tonight. We're going to get everybody on the microphone 1 second. Let me just unmute everybody. I am Sam Crow with Big Hoss and Boo Boo. How are you guys tonight? How's everybody doing? Don't all jump at once. Who's there?
Hello.
There we go. Come on, where are you at? We know she's there.
No, I ain't here. What you talking about?
You are there. Well, hello. Welcome back. So nice you could join us this evening. How are you been?
Oh, exhausted.
I'm sure. Aren't we all at some point in time or another? It's nice to have you joining us.
Been up since 4 this morning, so yeah, I'm kind of exhausted.
No, I feel that. I understand that entirely. We're glad you decided to join us. It's nice to have you back here. We haven't had anybody on for a while. We have lost touch with Mr. Fire. He's not been on, so I don't know what happened there. But it's nice to have you joining us tonight, of course. And, of course, all of you listening at home, it's always a pleasure and a treat to have everybody there. Now, I did spare Big Hoss this last time, but because it's story night, we are going to get the campfire going here if I click the right button here.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, I gave you a pass last night. We're just not going to play the commercial here. We have to do it because it's story night tonight, and this is going to be a good one, which we're going to explain what that is in just a second. There we go.
And I can stay until the break because I got to get ready for work tomorrow.
No worries at all. Well, in that case, why don't we start? Give us a little detail. What's been going on? Anything you want to share, feel free. What's been happening? It's been, I don't know how long. It's been a little while. What's been going down?
Oh, God, a lot.
Narrows it down, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. July last year, my mom died. I got my breeding of the rabbit, like my rabbit farm up and running.
Mm-hmm.
I got a new job. I'm getting divorced.
Wow, has it really been that long since we have talked to you? Really, that's a lot.
He can't. I think the last time I was getting a divorce, but yeah, he came back. But he walked in again, and this is like the 5th time in 2 years.
Okay, well that makes sense. We can understand that.
Definitely tired of the walking out and coming back in. So.
Well, anybody would be. That makes sense. Yeah, for sure. But it has been a minute because I think last time you were on and talked to us, I know your mom was sick. We're sorry to hear about that. Although I think it was coming to the cusp. I think if I remember correctly when you shared last time. But I can't believe it's been that long. Gee whiz. Yeah, that's quite a lot. But I mean, we share a lot about that, trying to take some negatives and turn into positives. So hopefully you're able to do that.
Yeah, I haven't had a job in 4 years, and I went to my first interview and got the job right then there on the spot. So I'm excited. I was do that for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a skill not many of us tend to acquire. So that's a blessing in and of itself. But that's fantastic. But of course, again, it's always nice when we get a chance. Everybody's busy. We try to sit down with everybody, but it happens. We're glad you could join us tonight here. It's a perfect night actually because, and if you guys listening at home couldn't tell from the title here, it is story night, and we're going to. I prefaced Big Hoss before the show. He's going to share a little bit, but that's going to be later on. So unfortunately, I don't think Boo Boo's going to hear that portion of it. But I want to start tonight. Well, actually, before we even get into that, we got just a short announcement we want to get to you guys too because we do that. We tend to forget when we do that. First and foremost, of course, you guys know if you missed last night's episode, It's available now. Check it out on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, please do so. We'd appreciate that. Anywhere you get your favorite podcast streaming service, check out our link tree. We have upgraded it. It's fantastic. Looks great. We also have a new feature which we want to mention there, which we were trying to integrate, which we did. If you scroll to the bottom of that page, there is now a email subscription list. If you want to get on a mailing list, you can do so. You can just enter your email and you'll be added to our contact list. We can send all kinds of information and things out to you guys. If you want to do that, check that out. Click that button, put in your email address. You'll get email sent from yours truly.
So we can send you a bunch of shit.
Pretty much. Not junk mail, though. Anything from updates for the show, when shows are going to go on, everything. We're going to do that, too, once we have the website running.
Damn Crow's address.
Yeah, okay. After we tell them your address, and we share your phone number on the air, too.
No, we will not.
But we wanted to integrate this because when we have the website up, hopefully before the end of this year, that's the goal, and we're determined to hit that. We wanted to have a mailing system.
I got Sam Crow with that joke, so
yeah, the first time. Yeah, I'm a little hipper to that now. So
usually gets me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we wanted to do this for a while, so hopefully you guys will take advantage of that. And of course, we're gonna add all kinds of fun stuff when we get the website going too, as well. That's still in development. We're gonna work that out. Should be up and running before the end of this year, and then, but in the meantime, you guys can at least have a closer contact with us. We get some information out, so that's the big announcement for that. So we'll keep it short and sweet, so we can jump right in here. So this is going to be fun.
Story about me getting you with I'm quitting.
With what? Oh, that story. Well, we can share. I can share that one real quick. This one is a whole story that you have never heard. I don't think I've been wanting to share. I'll explain it. Let me share that story first. That Hoss is talking about. So because
well, listen to this story. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Boo Boo didn't hear this one. I'm not sure. But this was. But if you guys listening may not have heard it too, this was a good one. This is. I should have prefaced. This is probably one of our top moments from 2023. We should have shared that for our best of. But so let's go back. So as per normal, and I think this was back. What are we in now? January.
It was in July. It
was in the summer. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it was back in the summer. Okay, so I was preparing for the show like normal. Well, actually, I was going to get ready to prepare for the show. We're getting some other things done first. I get a message from Big Boy over here saying that I think actually, how did you send it first? You first sent it saying you weren't going to make it to the show that night, which at that time you had become shocker. Or something like that, or maybe you weren't sure, like 5 minutes of, or something of. But then 5 minutes to the show, he sends me a message and says, "I don't think I can do the podcast anymore. I'm gonna have to quit doing it." I'm like, "What the heck? What the hell?" Like, I mean,
I didn't do that one.
Like, seriously. And he tells me this 5 minutes before. Like, I'm stewing because I'm like, first of all, timing is terrible. Because you tell me this.
I waited 10 minutes too, and then I texted him back. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. You think I'm going to quit something we just started, you fucking idiot?
The problem was I was so wrapped up, like, time crunch and getting everything ready, like, I wasn't thinking. So it totally caught me off guard, which, I mean, again, it was hysterical. I can laugh at it now. It wasn't funny at the time, but, I was going to, like, I was close to throwing stuff. Like, oh, man, like, it was... I'm like, oh, and then right before, I'm like, you dumbass. Right before I go on a show, you're going to tell me this. Like, you got to be nuts. But
I think you showed up for the show that night, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about it right away. Like I said, I don't even know if I could do this show now because I'm so worked up. It was priceless, I got to say. It was one of the big times that Big Hoss really pulled a big one on me, and I fell hook, line, and sinker for that. I dove right in. So that was... That was something. So that we should have mentioned that for the best of. There you go. There's a bonus for you guys. So this story, though, actually, and I want to...
let me ask you a question about this story. Is it going to make me laugh my ass off?
Okay.
Is it going to make me laugh my ass off, the story you're about to tell?
It might. I don't know if it'll laugh your ass off. This is more of my... This story is... That's what I want to preface it. You can tell me once you hear the... I'll give you the sort of the highlight for this to understand the story. So... Based on the title of the episode tonight, A Musical Journey. So if you guys listen to me, I was on Deanie's show. It wasn't, I think I think it was when we did the Pod Z Quad, but on Deanie's extra show, which Haas and I are going to make an appearance, not on the camera one, on the audio one, probably in the next few weeks or so. I'm going to talk to Deanie about it. But one of the things that Deanie highlighted was, and you guys know I shared this, I played in a couple of bands. I got into music when I was younger, and I really started to try to make something. Wanted to be successful, have all this kind of stuff happen. That kind of transition now, I get that from the podcasting now, but this is sort of a story that kind of chronologically shows my journey there. Now, there are some fun points, and actually there are 2 points to the story that Haas will like that are hysterical. I would say I still laugh about it. This was years ago, but it's funny as anything else. So the preface is, though, I was saving this as an episode for last year. Now, the reason we didn't end up doing this, I was hoping to get one of my friends who played in the band with me to come on, one of my bandmates to be on the show. Haven't talked to him for quite a while. But then the more I thought about it, I thought he's not the very talkative types. I don't think being on an on-air podcast show is going to be something that he's going to want to do. So I'll just tell the story because I was there. I lived through it. This might be a book I'm going to write one day as my retirement and sell it as a how-to and what not to do and kind of like my autobiography. But anyway, so once upon a time, no, I'm just kidding. So,
if you use me in any way in that autobiography, I'd be banned royalties.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends if it sells. I think it probably could, but you tell me. You'll have to judge. You tell me based on this story. So let's rewind. If you have anybody have snacks, go get a snack now and sit down and relax because this is quite a story. But let's go back in time.
Hold on, I gotta get my snack. Hold on.
Go ahead. All right, we'll give Haas a second. Make sure you guys you're gonna want to get your snack and get comfortable because this is gonna be a story. Yeah. So you guys should enjoy this. Now, I've shared bits and pieces. I've never told this as a whole story, which I thought would be really fun to do for tonight. Which I'm gonna try to summarize a lot of it, just because if I tell this long enough, it probably would take us 3 days, maybe more. So I don't want to do that. Clearly, we can't do that. I'm just gonna kind of get to the nuts and bolts of it, which we will do, because I also want to have Haas share later on. We talked about this. I thought about this, and I shared this the other night too. I was re-listening to the episode we did with Mr. J when he was on the show back before Halloween, and one of the questions that he kind of mentioned, or it wasn't a question, he mentioned it was, Haas had the idea to start a podcast. This is kind of where we shared this before, how we came about, why we had our production company here, why we have the shows. So, but I want to elaborate a little bit further. So Haas is going to share that story. I hope a little bit later. We're going to try to get into that too. So, but I want to share this story too because I've been dying to tell this for the longest time. And I'm truly hoping this will inspire you. Maybe you'll laugh, maybe you'll cry. I hope it doesn't discourage you, but I want to share some as words of insight because you're talking about a life journey of a learning curve, okay? So that's what we want to share. As soon as Big Boy gets back, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's probably making himself a pizza, maybe ordering a pizza or baking a pie. I don't know.
Or a pot roast.
Or yeah, well, he had that last night. So
yeah,
anytime here, Haas, we're waiting on you there. I know you can hear us. You don't have to make a 6-course meal. You just need a snack. It's not that long of a story.
Get your Reese's and sit your fat ass back down.
I think he might have ate those last night too. So who knows what he's got?
Oh, you heard?
Shit.
You had to take a shit too? Okay, well that makes sense.
I do not. I'm making a joke.
He's kind of constipated with all the peanut butter.
Shut up.
All the creaminess.
Okay. Oh. All right. So are you good now? You ready? Can I start here?
Yes.
Okay. So, in order to start this story, let's go back. I'll give you a little background. Not too much background because you guys know this a lot. I share this quite often. I got into playing music. I started playing drums. I really enjoyed that. I don't play as much as I used to. I want to get that out. I have drums set up. If you guys are musicians, especially drummers, it's really hard to play by yourself because there's no music. It's just beats. It's still fun to practice. If you can do it, do it. I have practice pads set up. I keep a pair of sticks everywhere. But anyway, I don't play as much as I used to. So this goes back. I was in high school at the time. And how I started playing drums was I played in our church youth group. And matter of factly, I knew I was going to be playing come senior year because the one kid that was ahead of me was graduating the year ahead of me, so I knew I was next in line to be the main drummer for the youth band. So I had started that year taking lessons. I had some skill, but I wanted to get better at reading, understanding, and playing and whatnot. So I took lessons for about a year. I figured that's going to buy me enough time until the graduation comes and the new year starts, which it did. So I did that for about a year and a half, and then I graduated out. I knew I still wanted to play and pursue music doing that, and I wanted to either start a band or join a band or both, whatever would be the scenario. Now, in some instances, I may use some names. I may not use names. I guess it depends. I don't know if people are going to care anymore, but we'll see. So one of my friends that was in the youth group band with me, his name is Fred, which we had kept in touch. He's actually the one who got me started. You guys know I do martial arts, which is my primary, what I focus on now. But back at that time, we played in the youth band. As we were getting ready to graduate, or I was anyway, I had gotten out of the band. I had heard, and I don't remember exactly how I heard, Fred and I think it was a distant cousin or friend of his whose name is DJ. They had started a band with another friend of mine who was the drummer at the time, who was partially in our church group, but wasn't there long enough we didn't play together. But I don't remember. I wasn't there for the inner workings of this part of the story. I just know that he decided to quit the band. So it was just Fred and DJ. They were looking for somebody. I believe it was Fred who reached out to me and said, "Would you be interested in playing? We have a band we're trying to start, yada yada." Sure, why not? Now my other friend, his name is Matt, who played the drums, said, "I just want to forewarn you. They're probably going to ask you." They did. He already texted me, messaged me. They don't usually go anywhere. They just spin wheels. They don't really plan well. Practices are kind of jokey kind of thing, all that sort of stuff. So I said, all right, I'll keep my guard up. But I accepted that, and so it was the three of us. We had a trio going. I think we met only, how many times did we meet? We kind of met to jam/practice. DJ had his own songs. I think I have one of them actually that he gave. I had a copy of it in my music notebook somewhere. He's starting from scratch. He had the rocker style, which I liked. He's like, we'll just play for food if we have to. We don't have to make money. Like, yeah, we're going to be like hippies on the road. Old school, like from the 60s, okay? Kind of deal. So all sounded good. I was all in. I said, sure, what the heck? Why not? Sure. The only thing he said was, I want to get at least one more guitar, maybe a couple of pieces, but let's get that because I'm going to play lead. We need someone to carry rhythm, or I think he was rhythm lead. I forget. I think he was lead, though, from what I remember. Fred played the bass, and I was on drums. So what I did was, and he had been looking, but I told DJ, I'll see what I can do. At the time, the local music store, Dave Phillips Music and Sound, you guys might know if you're local. Unfortunately, they closed after like 35 years in business. They finally shut down recently. I don't even think the website's running, but their website actually had, why I mentioned this, they had a musicians listing, which is sort of like a Craigslist for like musicians that posted ads, and I put one out for us trying to find a guitarist, et cetera, et cetera. I actually found one, another friend whose name actually happened to be Matt, and I got to know very well. We agreed to meet up at a local restaurant, or like a coffee house, a Panera's, if you guys know familiar with that. It's kind of like a Starbucks. Not sure. I don't know if you have a Panera's out in Colorado out there. Do you know what Panera is?
Panera Bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we met at Panera's, and had a good meeting. I explained, what the guys wanted to do. Matt was telling me we were just kind of, having some drink, I think we had tea or hot chocolate or something, and just kind of shooting the bull and just kind of like getting to know each other and or like some music, this and that. So I told them, I think it's going to work out. I'll let the guys know we're interested in having you come in and play. Which I sent a message to DJ. I think I had his phone number at that time. What the shit? Do I still have Hoss there? Hang on. There we go. It came back on. You still there, Hoss?
Yeah.
Okay. My internet just kind of crashed for some reason. Thankfully, everything came back up. All right, hang on. Let me recheck everything. Sorry about that, you guys. We've been having some wind issues tonight. It only affected us once earlier, and it actually hasn't been windy since, which is really, really strange. But anyway, so bottom line, we never got together. I never heard from the guys. I kept trying to message them saying, we get this guy interested. Are we going to meet? Blah, 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 yada, 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 so on and so forth, et cetera, et cetera. That's kind of where it was. Now, things kind of stagnated for a little bit to the point where I got tired of waiting because DJ kept saying, well, the schedule's changing. We're going to work it out, this and that, blah, 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 blah. So I said to myself, we just got to move on. We got to figure something else out. The whole shebang, the whole 9 yards. We have to, and because I knew I had already met with Matt, I got a potential good guitar player here who's very similar, very savvy musically. I wanted to do some live playing, some studio recording, all that stuff. He was very tech savvy to do that. I didn't want to risk losing him, and I wanted to move forward. So I decided to start a band myself, kind of move on, because pretty much it was just me at this point. So I retouched base with Matt and said, we're moving forward, never heard from anybody else. I think things are kind of dead in the water, which, did it surprise me? It probably shouldn't have had, but, it is what it is. So I moved on. Matt was still all in. I decided to reach back out to Fred saying, hey, if you're still interested, let's get something going. We're not waiting for DJ because he's holding up the ship, blah, 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 whatever. Fred said, yeah, I'm in. Awesome. I said, we're going to get together. We're going to practice. We're going to come up with some ideas, some goals, what we want to do, music we want to play. I do have to see if I can still locate another guitarist because now we're down one, which I did actually. I posted another ad, and we had a guy named Devin who came on and joined us. So there we go. We had a small little quartet. It was great. We had one meeting at my family home. We sat out on the porch. It was nice in the summertime. He brought his guitar. We kind of not jammed, but he kind of plucked at it. I had my sticks there. I was kind of like just tapping on the table. Kind of just shooting the breeze again, figuring out what we wanted to do, kind of, work out some scheduling, that kind of thing, this and that, everything else. And had a plan of where we wanted to go and take this direction. So, did that, had it nailed down. We had a practice set up, which we went to. I was there, Fred came, and Matt was there. Devin didn't show up. I had messaged him saying, where the hell were you? Because we were coming. He didn't say anything. I'm like, are you coming? Not coming? I can't make it. I had something going on, blah, 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 blah. So then I messaged later on to him saying, what's going on? We have a schedule, all this stuff. He kind of sort of gave me the runabout. I knew where this was going to go. He's trying to ditch, I think what it was ultimately, and I don't know for sure, but I ascertained and I deduced in my own knowledge was the band ultimately wasn't what we were going to do was not exactly what he was looking for. Now, why I make a point of reference for that is I just wish he would have told us that up front instead of playing this all around the mulberry bush BS where, you're just not going to show up, you're going to do all this stuff. Just be honest up front. That's all I'm asking you to do. I don't care. You know what I mean? Just say it. It's not a big deal because it's wasting everybody's time, but he didn't do that. So we were down a guy. All right, well, I said to the guys, we're going to continue. Let's try to at least get some structure down. We want to write some of our own songs. We're going to do some covers. Let's at least get the ball rolling. Let's be productive. Let's, try to at least make this a thing, okay? So we did that for a little bit. Not long after that, and this was actually the person I thought was going to quit first initially, but he didn't. Fred said to me, he hadn't shown up, oh, I don't have time to play this practice. Seriously? I don't have time to make it. If it's important to you, you make it work. But if you don't want to do it, can't do it, I understand that. That's fine. So it's what it is. He dropped out. So now it was just down to Matt and myself. And I said, well, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do a whole lot. And he said, well, we could get together, jam. We can play around with some stuff. So we did that. We met on the weekends. We kind of did that for a little bit. I continued to try to search in the meantime for some other guys to play with. And so I actually did, and this is actually where this story kind of gets a little funny. So the first person that contacted me, now we met again at Panera. Why did we meet at Panera? I should have prefaced this in the beginning. I didn't. One of the things that Dave Phillips, their site mentioned, and they said if you're going to meet people, especially strangers, try to meet at a neutral spot. Don't meet at your home address. That was just a rule that I took from them from their FAQ page, and I definitely implemented that. I was fortunate to find guys that, became good friends and we did all that stuff. But if you ever do that, just find a neutral spot. Don't meet at your home address until you get to know people. So, I I met a friend. His name is David Burkott. You can see his name on there. We still have our band page up, which I'm going to explain when I get to the name of the band once it's there. You guys can check it out. I still haven't checked it in a while. It's defunct now, but if you want to see our names and some of our, we did a photo shoot, which I'll explain in a little bit, is there too. But so David, come to find out, this is where the funny part of the story, or Hoss might find a kick out of this. So turns out my family knows David's family because we all grew up. They grew up together in the township where I lived. His grandmother literally lived across the street from my parents' house where I was living. So it's a small world. David himself lived about 20 minutes away in another town. He lived actually in PA. He lived I lived in Jersey. He lived in PA, right across the Delaware. So we got together. We jammed. We talked. I felt comfortable after we met. Had him come to the house. We jammed a little bit. He was all in. Great. We have a bass player. That's fantastic. So it was me, Dave, and Matt. Now, that was the case for a little bit, and then we got a bombshell dropped on us. Matt said, I got a different job. I am moving to the Jersey Shore. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from where we are. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. So he said, what I'm going to do, though, is I have to come up, because my parents still live up this way. I'll come up like every other weekend, and we can play Actress and Jam and all that stuff. All right, that's fine. So we did that for a while. Then I'll skip ahead a little bit because this kind of gets into the pertinent part of the story. Matt told us the company he liked, which he liked his job, said they're going to be transferring me to Virginia. So I'm like, oh, we're losing the guy. But he said, I'll hang out as much as I can. I'll do what I can. Great, no big deal. That's fine. So now I got to start over. I got to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. I put another ad out on the listing to look for a guitar player. Found another guy who became a friend we had here. His name is Adam. Same deal. Dave wanted to come with me. We all went together. We all had lunch out at Panera Bread. We sat and talked, and then we came back to my grandmother's house. Who had I had my drums set up indoor. In my family house, I had nowhere to put it in the house. I usually have the drums set up in the garage, but in the wintertime, it's freaking cold as anything else, so couldn't do that. So my grandmother has a spare room, which I kept the drums set up. We met there. I let her know, of course, it was okay. She says fine. And then so actually, I think there's some shots. I'll send some to you actually from my Facebook profile. Some of the practice sessions that we have. You guys can check it out too. I can share those. I actually might even share them on here just so you can kind of see. It was a lot of fun. So the three of us had it going. Matt showed up as long as he could until we knew the move was going to come. Let's see. Then what happened next? This was just before. So did we do the photo shoot? No, actually, I think this screwed us up. Yeah, we're gonna lose our time. We'll have to take a break anyway. But this is where it's interesting. So you guys know Olivia, who I plan to help us design the website as our webmaster. She's gonna help us down the road when we have the website going. She actually gave the band our very first gig. She wanted to help work with the band, do all this stuff. She was having I think it was her 18th birthday. She wanted to have a party, so I said, yeah, we'd be interested in playing. And I said, we'd love to do it. And so Matt came with us, came to practice. He was getting ready to move, so I know he wasn't going to be actually able to play the show, but he helped us out. I actually had tabbed my sister to help play because she could play guitar and bass and all that stuff. So she ended up coming with us just for this gig because I needed another guitarist. And so we had it all set. We practiced. This was I'll never forget the day of. So this was great. So This was the very first gig. Super excited. We were getting paid for it. So how much? I said, well, I'll cut you a fair deal. I said, I'm going to give you the cost of. We need to rent equipment from this music store, which I paid out of pocket. So I told the other band members we had a meeting, and I said, you guys we're gonna split this, but I'm taking a larger share because I paid out of pocket for the additional cables, the amplifiers that we needed, all that stuff. We rented it. I actually had Dave meet me early because he had a van. I said, meet me early in the morning, the day of the gig. We're going to pick up the equipment. So I said to Adam, actually, too, I said, if you could pick up my sister, we'll all meet, because we're going to go back to my grandmother's house. We're going to drop off. I didn't know how much room we're going to have, so I said, let's take the music equipment from the music store and drop it off at Olivia's parents' house. That's where the party was. It's actually out on the back deck. We'll drop this here. We'll go back to my grandmother's house. She only lives like 10 minutes away. My drums, I had packed the night before. I put them in bags. I tore the whole kit down. I had it in a bag ready to go. I just had to load it in the car. Did that. Got over it back to the house. Dropped the drums there. My sister was there with Adam. They had their guitar cases coming out. We were starting to set stuff up. Now, it takes me a while to set the drums up, but I did it. It takes like an hour, but I did it. So we got there early. The interesting part of this story, which now Haas might find this hilarious, is as a musician, my rule of thumb is when we play a show, we're dressing up nicely. So we had dress clothes on, all right, button-down shirts, pants. My sister had like a nice skirt on. I said to the guys, Adam kind of didn't have that. He had his own. I said, but it has to be nice enough. Like, we're professional coming to play. Like, this should be, Why is this funny? I'll see if this gets a kick for Big Hoss there. This was in the end of June. It was 95 degrees outside, okay? And I'm wearing black shoes and black dress pants, which is draw in the sun. It's hot as like, I'm talking, I'm sweating through my dress shirt, and we're just setting up. We didn't sound check yet. Olivia's dad brought a big case of like water bottles. So this is for you guys. You guys are going to be. I said, I know. I told the guys, I drank that day alone. I drank like 8 bottles of water. Okay, 8 bottles of water in like 3 hours. Okay, it was hot. I told the guys, make sure you hydrate. Do not get dehydrated because we're going to be sitting here for a few hours. Then to get even more fun, we were checking the weather because we're outside, mind you, on the back deck of the house. There's a storm coming, potentially thunderstorm coming. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me, because we have rental equipment that's outside and no umbrella. So I'm got my gloves on. I have I always wear a nice fedora and I have drum gloves. I'm constantly looking out the back so I can see the clouds coming in. I'm like, please don't, because we had to play for like, I think it was like a 5-hour party. But anyway, so it held off, thankfully. Party went well. We enjoyed it. Had a great time. I had the set list that we practiced. Played all the songs that we could play. I think Boo Boo's off for the night, so we'll say goodnight to her. And so we packed everything up. We got paid. Everybody got a cut from that. It was great. We enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. You can find those pictures on social media. We have them there too. It was a great time. That was our very first gig. It went well, and we enjoyed that. Another gig that we had, Adam actually had for his college project. He needed to play. He said he was in a band, so his professor said, your finals project is some kind of music based. So we ended up going to play at a art gallery at a college, which was really kind of neat. It was really, really tight though, and the fun part of this story was I had to lug my drum set up 2 flights of stairs. Okay, and so that was an experience in and of itself. But we played that. We enjoyed that. Those were probably our biggest gigs. I think we had. Did we get another one? Oh, her phone. Her phone died. Hang on. I'm trying to think. Oh, we did have one that we did, but this was later on, and we're gonna skip ahead because we'd skip some crucial parts of this story. So, one of the things that. This is kind of the next part of the story is one of the things the guys we talked about, because my sister ended up, I missed this part. She not only played her guitar for the show, she also sang lead vocals, and when we had a mic, we sung background and all that stuff. The guys determined we need to have a singer. Now that was something that I had on a list of things to do, but it wasn't top priority. Anything with a band, you want to have the musical instruments together. I actually missed part of the story. I should go back. When we had the band with DJ and with Fred and them, we had another friend, Chris, who was a vocalist. When the guys talked about playing gigs, they wanted to play in bars, and I said, we can't play in bars. Well, we could, but we got 2 guys under the age of 18. They're both 16, and we really shouldn't be playing there. So that was a hard thing, but that worked itself out. But anyway, not really relevant. I think that's why I skipped it. But to the Back to the Future point where we're at, put an ad out again for a vocalist. Now, I don't remember exactly how we found her. We're still friends. I haven't talked to her in a while. She's off doing her own thing. She was an artist, too. Her name is Natalie. She reached out from mutual friends. We all kind of knew each other from somebody. She came out and sort of auditioned, talked to her, listened to her sing. She was fantastic. Like, we had no qualms of, you got the job if you want it, yada, yada. And had her there for a little bit. We ended up playing at her church at one time. She actually got a chance to sing. It's a great show, great night. We enjoyed that. And we had a lot of fun, just kind of playing and doing that. Still trying to figure out if we wanted to add another couple pieces because I felt like we needed to, but I said we're going to do with what we got. So the core point of the story we're going to start this before we take our break because we're going to run out of our time here. Things began to fall apart. This is where I'm hoping you guys will gain some valuable lessons and experience here. We're going to actually take a pause when we come back. I want to just get a question in here for Haas and talk to him because I want to make sure we have time to do that too. So things, I want to skip ahead, and then I want to tell 2 funny stories too about when we had, this is just with, I think it was just me and Dave at that time. It ended up just being me and Dave. How that happened? Well, Natalie had started something with another friend. They had another band. We kind of split. I kind of helped play a little bit. She just said, I can't make the trip as much, so she kind of, I understood that. It's fine. The real big part of the story was we had a riff with Adam there, who's a guitar player. Now, what had happened was, and I recognized the pattern was, we would set up a practice schedule, like a practice on a Saturday. He would either message me or call or I can't make it, I got something else going, something else, yada yada. Well, all right, I mean, shit happens, I get it. But what was odd was, and this is how I knew there was problems, I think it was a few days before we were supposed to have a practice. I think he called me that day. Get down. I noticed, I forget what he posted on Facebook. I saw it. He had band practice of some kind. And I was like, son of a bitch. He started his own band and didn't say anything. So naturally, I played dumb at first. I said he's not going to show up to practice, which he didn't. We ended up getting into a confrontation where I confronted him, and I basically like, what the hell? Like, again, why didn't you just say something? And it was this whole back and forth. We argued it. I had it out with him and said, go, F you and go on and do all this stuff. Like, it was, blah, blah, blah. It was a big blow up thing. And then Dave told me, hey, Adam wants me to play with him. I hate to do that to you, but he said, I'm still going to come. I said, if you want to jam with me, that's fine. You want to play with him, that's fine too. Adam's whole band only lasted maybe, I think, 2 weeks. And they fell apart. So the issue was, which I believe caused the problem, is Adam being the guitarist figured, I'll get into detail with that too. He was impatient with, number one, we weren't in the recording studio. I had a friend who was a producer who I went to visit the studio and had everybody show us around and stuff. Tried to have him explain to the guys, it takes a lot to get into the recording studio, which, we were nowhere close. All of Adam's songs, which were good, we wrote several songs all together. They were all over the place. They needed to be cleaned up a little bit. We needed to have music sheets, which he didn't have. So there was that as well. But he was impatient. And I said, we can't be rock stars overnight. It's just not going to happen that way. But that's sort of all this thing that kind of stirred the turd kind of thing and kind of got to the point where we got. But things fell apart there too. So it ended up just being me and Dave for the longest time. And we jammed every weekend. We're going to break. Haas is going to lose us. I'm going to tell those funny stories when we come back and see if Haas enjoys them, because these are just phenomenal. There he goes. And then we're going to have Big Haas share a little bit about his podcasting journey, because I want to mention that, because I think that's really, really valid and important. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Let's put our fire on pause here. Where is it? There we go. Plenty more to come, naturally. Let me just message her back real quick. I really got to do a better typing system, because there we go. When we come back, we got plenty more we'll talk about. Story's not over yet. Again, kind of short telling this because we could be here for quite a while, but we got to keep it short because we're only an hour show. Typically, we'll go probably a little bit over tonight, but I also want to give Big Hoss his props too as well. Hope you guys are entertained. I'll probably cover this more later on, but I've been wanting to share this for a long time. I wanted to hopefully have Dave come on and talk a little bit, but I wasn't sure if he was gonna, so figure may as well share it. It's an episode. It's a story that needs to be told, and been wanting to share it. So hopefully this will give you guys some great insights. Now, I want to say this too before we break. If you're starting a band, go for it. I'm not advocating that you shouldn't do it. It's going to be tough. It may not work out. I tried it, didn't work out, but at least I can say we tried it, because I didn't want any regrets there for that. But definitely go for it. Give it your best shot. You never know what could happen. And at least you can say that, like me, you did try it, so it may not work out. I'm thankful to have the podcast that's working out for me, and I've gotten back into martial arts training, which I'm going to be focusing on for the remainder of my life existence, but it allowed me to do that because I got away from that. I haven't had a lot of time. You can only commit to so many things. So it was great, though. I tried that, and I wish you guys, especially if you're younger, go for it. If you think you have enough talent for that, try it. You never know what could happen there. At the very least, you give it your best shot, right? So that's kind of the whole moral of that story, which I hope will inspire you guys. But we'll get into some more details with that and the podcasting journey a bit closer as we peel that layer of onion back to see how it came about and more when we return. Happy Saturday night to you guys. Go go for a bathroom break. I know I was talking there for a while, so good chance to do that now. Take a break. We'll come back. Plenty more here at the show for you guys, hanging out on Saturday night. We always love doing that with you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it just as much. It's a new year. Can't wait for more fun to come here. Hope you guys are looking forward to it just as much as we are. Hope you'll stick it out with us as well. We just love doing it, and it's just growing. It's been great, and we couldn't do this without your support. So thank you guys so much. Stay tuned. Plenty more to come here on Saturday night at the What's Up Bro podcast show, brought to you by the one and only J&J Production Studios, your number one true home for entertainment. We'll be right back for more right after this.
Hey there, do you love podcasts? Are you having difficulty finding the right ones to listen to? Is it frustrating when you're trying to pick that show? You know, the one where everyone must collectively agree on? Like finding a good movie or TV show to watch, do you look for the most jam-packed entertainment that's possible to find in a single episode every week? Then search no more, and welcome to J&J Production Studios. It's our business to provide the best entertainment and information available for you. Whether you're sitting in that comfy chair with your favorite snack and beverage listening live each week, or downloading your favorite show episodes to take with you on the go while you're at work, exercising, or even just to play at night for you to fall asleep to. There's something for everyone, no matter what size, shape, or age you are. Visit www.linktree.com/J_J Production Studios to find all the streaming services where our podcast shows can be found. You can also connect with us on your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. You can join our public Discord server and chat directly with us. But wait, there's more. You can subscribe to our official YouTube channel and be notified every time a new show is broadcast. Wish you could have some studio souvenirs or collectibles? Guess what? You can. Visit the official store where you can purchase items featuring your favorite podcast and show hosts. Would you like to help support us? You can do that by getting your very own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. All proceeds go to help us upgrade our shows, which will only enhance the entertainment provided to you. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you as an audience. Your love and support are always appreciated. We'll see you soon.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
All right, welcome back, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out there. If you're just tuning in, welcome. It's Saturday night, January 13th, here at the What's Up Bro podcast show, brought to you by the one and only J&J Production Studios, your one true home for entertainment. We're just getting everything loaded up here again. We're going to get Big Hoss back in the fold. Let's see, where are we? There we go. Get our fire going. It's story time. So we are going to get back into that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Probably will cover this more down the road, but I wanted to give the bulk of this story because, again, I feel like I've shared bits and pieces before, but this is sort of the core element to that, and we're going to get into I want to share some fun stuff with this, too, coming in, because it's pretty much where the story kind of ends. So the thing I learned the most, I'll say this as Big Hoss comes in, is scheduling is always hard. When you have a group of guys, and I always wanted a band with at least 4 or 5 people, the problem is it's great to have. It's a lot more musical instruments, singers, whatever you have available to you. The problem is with that many people, there tends to be issue with scheduling, which was a huge thing. I can't make this night or that night. I can do this night. Well, I can't do that night. So there's all that sort of thing that happens. But, it's, again, if you can do it, we're not knocking you for it. Go give it your best shot. Try it. And maybe you'll have better success. It just wasn't probably in the cards. But I will say, from that experience, I absolutely enjoyed it, loved it. Was nothing wrong with that. Love what I'm doing now. Podcasting kind of gives me that musical edge. I know it's kind of weird, but it's a way of entertainment. I wanted to entertain people. So it still kind of gave me that fulfillment. It wasn't quite exactly the same as music would do, but I find this very enjoyable, and that was a whole fun journey. I'm so glad to be here now, especially with all of you guys, so wouldn't change it for a minute. Your microphone is on, so you're wired there. You're good to go there, big boy. Just a quick announcement, though, for you guys. If you're breaking news there, too, if you're not following the NFL playoffs there, a huge, stunning upset tonight. The playoffs begin. It's wild card weekend. I did not have to see this coming. The Houston Texans defeated the Cleveland Browns, who I had as a Cinderella team. They spanked them 45 to, I think it was 15. And the Miami Dolphins are on the cusp. They are in Kansas City. They are losing 26-7. I think they're going to be out as well. So that just leaves Baltimore for the AFC card. Again, you never know what happens. The playoffs are a one-game season, but that is a huge shocker. Cleveland was looking hot there. They get knocked out the first round. How about that? It is what it is. Again, you could be the greatest team ever in the regular season. Playoffs come. It's a whole different animal. So there you go. Update more. Checking out more playoff games tomorrow. Hope you guys are enjoying that. Let's go watching some football. Got to watch some tomorrow too. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys that update. So I'm going to leave this to Hoss. Do you want to hear funny stories first, or do you want to share your portion real quick? Because I kind of saved. There's a couple. What's that?
I don't care.
All right. Well, it's dealer's choice. What would you like to? You want to hear this? These are pretty funny stories, but I'll share those real quick. I'll give you a minute to think about it. Okay, so I'll save the funniest one for last. This one's sort of funny. And I say this for the part of the story because it was just Dave and I for a while, just jamming on the weekends. Not really having a band, just kind of hanging out. We did reconnect with Adam. I will preface this. He did come back. We started jamming again, but never put the band back together. But anyway, we did make things up. We patched up and everything from everything that happened. But this one particular time, this was funny. I always help Dave carry his amps out and stuff, carry back to the car. I was holding the door for him, and I said to Dave, age before beauty. You go ahead first. And as we're walking out and I'm following him, I see his head turning, and he's thinking. And I'm like, what's he thinking about? He looks over his shoulder, goes to me, but aren't you older? like, yeah, I am. It was a joke, Dave. I said, age before beauty. I'm the beautiful one. You're the... Anyway. This story was also with David. Now, this is hysterically funny, too, because I will never forget this for as long as I live, and I think this is the one that Hoss will love the most. So, we had a gig. We met Natalie down. We told her we meet at her church to play and to sing there. She was going to meet us there because obviously it's closer to home for us. We all decided to carpool and caravan down. There was me, Dave, Adam, and my sister. I pulled her in to do it again to play with us. So there's 4 of us in the van. We drove down, had our equipment, because I had to, obviously, I'm sorry, no. No, it had to be all four of us. How did I get drums? Did they have? Oh, you know what? I think they had drums down there. That's why I didn't have to take drums with me. Anyway, because we were all in the same van together. We played this show. The understanding preface was we'd be getting back late that night. We didn't get home at least till about midnight. My sister and I went to bed, and I had to go to work at like 2 o'clock. But anyway, the funny part of the story is this. So we were driving home. We finished up the gig. It was great. It was fun. We didn't get paid. It was just for fun, and it was just to kind of do it. We were driving back, and this is probably about 11:30 or so. As we're driving back, I noticed there's cop lights behind us. So I'm sitting shotgun. I'm riding the passenger seat. Dave's driving, and my sister's name is Dana. Dana and Adam are in the back seat. I said to Dave, I said, you got to pull over. I think he's looking for us. Well, he pulls us over, and he's like, where are you guys coming from? This and that, blah, 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 blah. We explained it. It was fine. He issued a ticket to David. He said, you were speeding, and this is a residential. It's like 25 miles an hour. You're speeding. Gave him a ticket, so did his thing, went off. We saw him stop somebody else, so they were filling quotas for that night. Well, the funny part of the story was, I said to Dave, I said, while you're driving, let me see the ticket, because he put it down like between the car seats. So I said, let me see it. He gave it to me. I took my phone, because there's no light in there. I'm looking at it, seeing how much the fine was. Well, he clocked Dave doing, I think it was a 30, 38 and a 20, something like that. It's like 15 miles over the speed limit. It gives you the penalty, how much the ticket is. The ticket was, and because Dave asked, like, how much is the ticket? And I said, looking at it, I said, based on what the officer wrote on the ticket, I said, your ticket's $95. And I looked at, now David is a very mild-mannered type of person, okay? Doesn't get too upset. I looked at him and he went, his eyes rolled, and I was like, holy hell, he's pissed. Well, here's the funny part of the story. He drove around. We saw that same cop pulling somebody else over. So what he did was, he spun around. He drove back to make sure he drove past the cop. I'm sitting there like kind of afraid to look. I see his hand go up as we drive by. I'm thinking to myself, did he just do what I think he just did? Can you think you can guess what he did?
Flip them off.
I asked him the next day. I sent him a message on Facebook. I said, Dave, we were talking about something. And I said, was that my imagination or did you just give that cop the bird? He goes, yeah, I did. I'm like, he goes, that's a bad habit I get from my mom. And so I told him, and then his grandmother goes, I'm telling his mom, he said, you had to be there. It was so freaking funny, like, because he's usually quiet. He's very, he doesn't get upset at all. He usually kind of keeps to himself. He was livid, like pissed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I can't blame him. I mean, but it was just hysterical. So those are fun memories. And then there was one time, what was another fun one we had? Not quite as funny as that, but I can't remember now. But anyway, so I want to just throw this to Haas here because now I'll preface this again. We mentioned this because I'll kind of give some of the story, but I just want to just give us a little taste of why. So Mr. J had shared that you had you guys know we started this whole thing based on an idea that Haas had, which you had reached out to Mr. J about, and he had said he was encouraging you to do that. So just in short and simple, what made you want to do a podcast? I mean, I know you had some experience before. Was there a reason? Like, what was the driving force that wanted you to jump back in this train, on this gravy train?
There really wasn't a reason.
Now, was this before or after you talked to Mr. J? Did he help convince you to do it, or how did that work out?
No, I wanted to start one because I wanted to see if you were interested. And if you were interested, I was definitely going to start one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided one day I should see where it goes.
Well, and what's funny about that was, and Haas knows this too, and we joke about it was, in the same context, he was thinking that. I was thinking the same thing. I thought about, well, my thing was, and you guys know, just a quick overview or review. When I thought of doing podcasting, I saw a lot of podcasts popped up when COVID hit because we were all sitting home for 3 months, can't go anywhere. You guys know we were in lockdown for those of us living in the States. So I kind of had this idea. And again, it gave me my itch to scratch for music because, I mean, obviously we're talking about stuff, but we can play some tracks and things, and it kind of gives me as an entertainment kind of value. But I wasn't sure if I could do it myself, so I was going to talk to Big Hoss about doing it. Now, I forget, did Was it me or was it who proposed the idea? I think it was me, right? Was I the one? You proposed the idea. Okay. And that's right, because then
Halloween night.
Yeah.
Halloween night. And I told you, what do you think about getting the podcast together?
That's right. And then I responded by saying, that's funny you should mention that because I was thinking about asking you the same thing. So it worked out that way, and bing, bang, boom, here we are, and it's come a long way. But it's really funny how things work out because, and I shared this, and see, like Hoss too, I didn't really want to do them myself because it's not as fun. I mean, we have some solo shows that we do, but we still kind of work together behind the scenes. Which we're going to do. We have some new episodes coming out we're going to figure out a schedule for, but the core idea was to have someone to do with because it's more fun that way, obviously, number one. Number two, probably 1 and 2 together. But it was just kind of like, and because Hoss and I usually sat around and chatted and did it, figure why not? Because we have stuff we can talk about. It'd be a lot of fun to do it. The planning process is never fun. That was always hard, but... and again, I chalk it up to Big Hoss. And number one, he had the idea for the podcast. And number two, he found us the Spreaker site, which has been absolutely fantastic. I think it's, and again, there's no sponsorship here, but highly recommend if you're going to do a podcast, look at Spreaker, Spreaker.com, a wonderful and very well sought out and well publicized streaming service for podcasts. There's a whole ton of them on there. So many great things you can do. Check that out. I'll share that tidbit because I kind of kicked myself now because Hoss was goating me on like we got to upgrade our. He created it, we started it, we have the free site for that for Spreaker, but he's like we can't do enough stuff. We got to upgrade. We got to pay the monthly. We got to well, all right, I know things. If you upgrade it, there's more perks to it. But I'm like I'm not sure if it's gonna pan out. I mean, 20 a month is fine. It's not a big thing. And even from the latest upgrades from this last 7 or 8 months has been fantastic. So I said I was stand corrected because Big Hoss was right. If we would have jumped on that, probably would good. But it worked out, and we got where we are. And because of that too, we found everything else that we have there. So it doesn't matter how we got here, but we got here, and it's growing, and it continues to grow. And
yeah, Mr. Hesitant.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to look into it myself because I was going on blind faith by what he saw, and I didn't see what he saw. So, seesaw. No time to laugh about it now. But, oh wait, there is. There's plenty of time to laugh about it. So, I just wanted to do my own research. But, going into it, and even spinning off between that and all the other site services that we have and how it's... I'll think about when we started with Humble Beginnings, and we played that a lot with episodes, and we still go back and listen to them, but how much we've grown and just really how things have launched, and even just the following has been huge, even from the last couple months. So it's going to be a great year. I can't wait to see that for more. But yeah. Oh, we never got our. Hang on. Well, we may as well leave it off because we're going to be wrapping up here shortly anyway in just a few minutes. Leave the fire. There you go. I'll give you your fire break, even though you can't hear it anyway. So what's the difference? So
that's why I can't believe you stopped for that shit the other day.
Well, you know what? I thought though. I got to go back and listen. I don't know if anybody can hear it except for me, because I'm not sure what the output is. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, no, it's been incredible, and it's hard to believe this is year 2. And I was actually looking, so I can tell you guys this. It's safe to tell you this for sure. As of tonight. Tonight is episode 170.
This isn't year 2.
What's that?
This isn't year 2.
Yeah, we're coming into year 2 of since we've done this.
Well, last year, yeah, this is the beginning of year 2.
This is beginning of year 2. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean. This is beginning of year 2.
Okay, I get what you mean now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe. Time really flies. It still feels like we barely just started, and here we are coming into year 2 already. And for the main show, we are already at this is episode 170. We're going to hit 200 episodes this year, which I know. Wait a minute. Let me say that again. I'm slow on the draw here. We're going to hit 200 episodes this year. Okay, we get it. Which we'll have something special for.
You're
I can't tell.
Idiot.
I know. I can't tell you exactly when that will be. Probably if we average. Let's play this game. So we kind of get a game night in here. Let's just take a look. So if we average 2 episodes a night or a weekend, at least this is just for the main show. This has nothing to do with the other podcast shows, which we're going to upload later on. We have some new ones coming out. What?
By the way.
Uh-huh.
You ready for this?
I'm not sure, but go ahead.
Hold on. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Hold on.
Where's the... Wait, hang on. Let's pause.
It
let's
is minus 6 degrees.
Right now?
Right now.
Holy hell. Is it snowing or is it just cold?
It's minus 6 degrees.
Man. Well, you know what? I think we're going to drop to like 12 tonight, I think. It's going down again. Man. At least you're warm inside.
I have the window open and my fucking arm is so fucking cold.
Right?
I can feel the breeze.
I know.
If I go out there, it's going to be fucking, I'm going to get frostbite.
He's going to be a hossicle. Where's my weight? Hossicle. There it is. No, I know. Well, it's funny because now you're getting the extreme cold. We've had snow, but you haven't had that. So give it time. That's for sure. Let's see here, though. I want to see. So we average 2 shows. We need 30 shows, I think, to hit 30 episodes. Sorry, to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 22, 24. So probably this is just a rough calculation estimate. Where did my video go? There we go. We are probably looking at hitting the 200th episode right around the end of April, right before May, April, May, if we go according to schedule. Now, I do know, I want to preface this too. I'm going to talk to Haas about possibly pre-recording this, but we won't be live, I think it's Friday night, February 2nd. Taking the night off, it's anniversary night with the wife, so we can pre-record that and upload something, or I can put something on. It's not a big deal. So there won't be a show that night. I know it's a little bit away yet, but I just want to preface that. But on the whole... What's that?
That sucks because now I ain't got nothing to do.
Well, I mean, you can. Well, you could have some time to game in that night. I mean, you could do some stuff. Unless plans change, I doubt they will, but you never know. I'm just telling you. I didn't want to be like somebody going. I always say, let me know at least a little bit ahead of time so that I can prep for the show. 2 minutes before a show. Oh yeah, I can't make it. Thanks. Now, again, stuff happens. Yeah. Yeah. In denial. You know where you find denial? In Egypt. Ha, ha, ha.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've seen the 5th.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. However, the guilt is still written all over your face.
No, it is not.
Sure. But anyway, the point being... If we go on schedule, probably around the end of April, end of April, beginning of May, probably, we'll have our 200th episode celebration, which we'll have to do something. I'm not sure what. We'll figure it out. But we will hit that this year. So it's incredible. Hopefully we'll have some more special guests. We're going to try to work on some scheduling there. But it's been a journey, and I continue to look to see how it's going to go. But it's a happenstance. You just never know what's going to happen sometimes. So there you go. That's how it comes about. The legend as it is. And we hope you guys will do that. And also a reminder before we close for the night too, check it out. Our mailing list is there. If you want to put your email in, it just adds you to our contact list. You can get updated information there and that sort of thing. That's available. Check out our link tree for that. Linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. Not hard to find. Very flashy, very nicely updated. Thank you. I did all the editing myself. But I hope you guys check it out. And if you want updates for that too, you can. That's our other big update for the year. One more we have is the website, and then we're pretty much all set. Just a couple occasional appearances on some shows, some publicity, that kind of stuff. We're getting constant messages for people wanting to do graphic designing and work, and I can't field them all because we don't. Number one, I mean, I appreciate some of you guys. We'll consider them, but if you're listening to the show, it's just a lot of stuff, and we don't have a lot of work right now. When we have the website up, we might be in line for a designer or two. We'll have to see, but that's kind of where we stand there. So. We do get those messages just a lot, but we appreciate your interest there, and we will try to figure something out there as well. So with that being the case, I'd say our time is up. Your time is now complete and over. No, I'm just kidding. And with that, unfortunately, we're getting closer to the end of the weekend. Can you believe it? However, I will say this, though. It is a holiday weekend, so Mondays we're off, most of us anyway. So if you have Monday off, enjoy that. Go back to work on Tuesday.
What holiday is Monday?
Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So some people don't have off. A lot of people do, but if you don't worry. You just have a chance to make more money. That's what it is. But stay tuned for more of you guys, too. We're going to have some new shows coming out. We want to do an episode of ASMR Nighttime Sleep. That episode is going to feature Big Hoss. We're going to talk about how that podcast started. Big Hoss was also part of it was to entertain for help sleep at night, but also for mental health awareness, which I want to dig deeper into. So we're going to record that. We're going to get a time this week one day. We're going to do that for you guys. That's coming out, as well as the other shows too. Next weekend, we're going to plan to do some Game Corner, so we're going to have some fun there. Hope you guys can join us. We'll find some fun things to do there as well. But we always look forward to the weekends. We hope you guys do. We love hanging out with you guys. It's always a pleasure and a treat for us. So as we prepare to wrap up here, I'm going to throw it to Big Hoss first. Big Hoss would like to wish everybody a good night too. But before you do, Hoss, what is our special edition message that cannot be withheld, which is...
Don't drive.
Yep, if you're going to party hardy, be responsible, please. Big Hoss, tell the folks peace out and have a good night. Tell them you love them all. You'll see them next time.
Peace out, everybody. See you next time.
Much love from the big guy. He loves you all very much, don't you?
Yep.
There you go. We'll see you guys back again soon. Plenty more content coming. Stay up to date. Check out our link tree. Make sure you guys follow us there. If you're not following us on social media, please do. I mean, I get it. If you don't use it, you don't use it. But check it out. You're missing all kinds of fun stuff. So go check it out today and keep up to date on all things happening here at the studio. Of course, you guys, too, as Hoss said, it's cold there. It's wintry out. It's freezing. Please be careful out. Be happy, be healthy, and be safe. Try not to get sick if you can help it. I know it's hard because it's just that time of year. But take care. And also, please, if you're sick, don't go out and get anybody else sick. If you know you've got something going on, don't share it with anybody else, okay? Very much, please. We appreciate that. So with that being said, you guys, for all of us here at J&J Production Studios, Sam Crow and Big Hoss, we love you guys. We look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Have a very wonderful rest of your evening. Good night. Goodbye for now. And of course, though, as always, until next time, when we see you, same time, same channel, same tremendously great content, next time we see you at the show.
Thank you for listening to the What's Up Bro show. Catch all the latest live action on your favorite podcast streaming services, including Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can also check out episodes on the studio's official YouTube channel. Subscribe and become a member today. Don't forget to also turn on notifications so you'll know when new content is uploaded. Stay tuned and don't miss a single moment. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, we will see you at the show.